from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, Fox Sports Houston brings you Houston Astros baseball. Today it's Game 3 of this 4-game series. The Houston Astros meet the Atlanta Braves. Good afternoon, everybody, for the Sunday matinee. Bill Brown and Jim DeShays. And the Braves have had the Astros number this year. They won all 4 games between the two so far, JD.
Yeah, Braves scored 4 in the 10th last night. The Astros have allowed 11 home runs in the last 5 ball games, losing 4 of those 5. And we take a look at the pitching matchup this afternoon. It features Brett Myers for the Astros, who's allowed 16 home runs, tied for the most in the National League. He's 2-5 with a 5.02. Up against young Tommy Hanson in 4 starts against the Astros in his career. He's 2-0 with a 0.90 earned run average.
Coming up, the man with a long hitting streak will not be in the starting lineup today. Hunter Pence is resting with a bad back. And the Braves continue to bang out those long balls, as JD mentioned. They will be without Chipper Jones today. We'll see the Sunday matinee next.
Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. Well, it's a beautiful day outside, hot, but it's nice and cool inside under the big roof. As the youngsters who were part of the pregame ceremonies are just parading off the field. The Astros have yet to begin the warm-up tosses. Brett Myers has taken his spot on the mound, so this game scheduled 1:05 will get underway just a couple of minutes late as the meeting behind home plate continues. The Astros are hoping to salvage one out of this first 3 before wrapping up the series with this unusual Monday game. That will be tomorrow night. Well, warm-ups have begun. The umpires are taking their position. Let's go upstairs to Bill Brown and Jim DeShays.
Thank you, Greg Lucas. Youngsters eating away as this Sunday matinee arrives. It's always fun to watch them working on some food. Jordan Schaefer leads it off at center field for the Braves. Dan Uggla at second base, followed by Brian McCann, and he has been there in the clutch against the Astros this season. Freddie Freeman is the cleanup man at first base with Alex Gonzalez at shortstop. Eric Hinsky at first base, who actually is in left field. Brandon Hicks and Matt Young, Tommy Hanson round out the order.
Well, Brett Myers takes the mound for the Astros this afternoon with a record of 2-5. You look at his last 3 starts. Most recently against the Cardinals, he allowed 5 in 6 innings. A very good one at Wrigley. That was his second win. Both of his wins this year have come against the Chicago Cubs, and then the one that preceded that against the Arizona Diamondbacks, a no decision in which he allowed 4 runs. Oh, so close last time out against St. Louis. And we look defensively now for the Astros this afternoon. An outfield of Lee, Bourne, and Michaels. Hunter Pence got a little bit of bad back. Jason Bourgeois was originally in the lineup, but he was scratched due to an ankle injury. The other wrinkle, Matt Downs getting a start at second base today.
Downs is batting third. Brett Myers ready to go, shooting for win number 3 of the season. Faces leadoff man Jordan Schaefer. Schaefer takes, and there is strike 1 to the center fielder with a .220 average, no homers. 1 RBI for Schaefer. He has 3 stolen bases in this series. Stole 2 Friday night and another one last night. He moves back from that one, and it's a 1-1 strike count. Myers is 4-10 in his career against the Braves with a 4.43 ERA. He's made 23 starts against Atlanta, and his team is 9-14 in those 23. That one's in tight, and it's 2 balls and a strike.
And his undoing in that last start against the Cardinals, a bases clearing double by Jake Westbrook, the opposing pitcher. Big moment in that game. He'd given up an early home run, but had settled in and was just been out away from getting out of damage in that pivotal 6th inning before allowing that bases clearing double. So that's kind of been the story of his year. He's been awfully close in a lot of these starts.
Diving play. It gets away from Brett Wallace, trickling into foul territory, and that's a hit for Schaefer. Wallace with the diving effort got leather on it but couldn't hold it, and it's a hit for Schaefer.
For a stolen base threat, the Braves don't do a lot of running, but he's one guy who's certainly capable. And talk about just being close and not being able to finish it off. Also able to get leather on it, but couldn't corral it.
True. That was also close to an out. Schaefer might be running as he has been in this series so far. He is 6 for 8 in steals. Relatively new catcher Carlos Corporan behind the plate. Dan Uggla at 176 with 7 homers, has 16 driven in. Corporan started last night. He's running. Here's the throw, and it's on the shortstop side and on into center field. Schaefer still down after the stolen base. He's not shy about taking off. Stole it on the first pitch. 7th steal for Schaefer.
Corporan, pretty good throwing numbers throughout his minor league career. He made a throw like this last night too on the shortstop side. If he gets it on the other side of the bag, they got a pretty good chance of getting him.
Now Uggla moves back from that one. It's a 1-1 strike count.
Dan Uggla, a .333 hitter against Brett Myers in his career, and that's with plenty of at bats. 14 out of 42, 5 home runs for Uggla against Myers.
Uggla smacks one in a long drive, and they're getting up in the Crawford boxes on a 2-run Uggla home run. His 6th career long ball against Myers, and the Braves continue to break out the home run bats. 2-0 very quickly as Uggla hits number 8, giving him 18 runs batted in.
The 12th home run now the Astros have allowed in the last 5 games plus 2 batters. 17th one allowed by Brett so far this year. That's the most in the National League.
No question about whether that one had the distance.
Carlos did not even flinch on the off-speed pitch. Uggla showing signs of life. He has struggled all year long. A couple of hits and a couple of walks last night.
Ryan McCann fouls it. Strike 1. 303 for McCann. 8 homers. 35 runs batted in. The Braves have just hit their 67th home run. They are 4th in the National League in long balls. 8 from their catcher McCann. Bouncer, and the shift was on, so he hits it right to the right of the shortstop Barmas and into left center field for the 3rd consecutive hit.
Well, at least we kept him in the yard. He was 3 for 10 against the Astros this year, and all 3 were home runs. You see the shift, you see the positioning. McCann able to beat it.
Freddie Freeman comes up. 4 for 10 in this series with a long home run, his 6th of the year. He's driven in 25. Freeman looks at a strike. Hit one to the upper deck. One of the longest home runs we've seen in a while at Minute Maid Park. So Freddie Gonzalez club off to an excellent start. Playing 500 ball now in the history of this organization.
It took him 88 years to get back to 500. 1923 was the last time the Braves franchise was at 500. They bottomed out in 91 when they finished last, and then you know what happened after that. The Braves went on a tear.
Freeman strikes out. 1 out for Myers, and now it's Gonzalez.
Steve Sparks talked in the pregame show about Myers having a put-away curveball, and that's exactly what that was. It was Lance Berkman who got Myers in the first inning in his last start for a 2-run homer.
Gonzalez also has unloaded a homer in this series. Fouls that one for strike 1. He has 7 bombs with 22 driven in and a .267 batting average for Alex.
It's kind of a theme because I think in Brett's previous start against the Cubs, he gave up a home run to Fukudome to lead off the ball game in the bottom of the first, but that's all he gave up in that game.
He won that game 3-1. Won 6 innings. Gonzalez fouls that one. 0-2 the count on Alex, who is 4 for 10 in this series. Hinsky's on deck. With the starting pitching the Braves have, early runs can really make them extremely difficult to beat. And Hansen checks in with the 5th best ERA in the National League, 2.59. So he's up by at least 2 before he throws a pitch. Roll to shortstop. Barmes with the toss. Downs firing. Safe at first. Out number 2 went 6-4 on McCann. Fans booing the call by Bruce Dreckman at first base.
Kind of a slow ground ball. Helped Gonzalez beat the rap there at first. Quick shovel by Barmes, quick turn by Downs, but because of the slow nature of that ground ball, Gonzalez able to beat it.
That means Hinsky bats. Eric looks at ball 1. 285, 8 homers, 18 runs batted in for Hinsky.
Yeah, home runs in the first 2 games of this series, so Gonzalez's ability to beat that double play could prove to be very important.
Curve works for a strike, and it's 1-1 with Brandon Hicks on deck. Foul tip there makes it 1-2. Myers has left 4 games with the Astros leading and not gotten a win in those games. Got his first win here against the Cubs April 12th, and then another one at Chicago June 1st. Corcoran picks it up, tags him out, and that's the first for Atlanta with 2 runs coming home on 3 hits and a man left. Bourne in center. Clint Farmer shortstop. Matt Downs second base. Batting third. Carlos Lee left field. Brett Wallace first base. Jason Michaels right field. Chris Johnson third. Carlos Corcoran catcher for Brett Myers.
Tommy Hanson, 24 years of age, very talented right-hander, and he has owned the Astros through 4 starts. He's 2-0 with a 0.90 earned run average.
What's amazing, JD, is that at Minute Maid Park, he's made 2 starts. He has an ERA of 0, but no decisions. Michael Bourne on a 12-game hitting streak. That ties his career high. He looks at strike one.
The league is batting .195 against him. That's the best mark in the league. Kind of a funky short arm delivery. Throws fastball, curveball, slider change.
Tommy, 24 years old, from Tulsa. This is up high, and it's a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Last time out, he beat Florida 1-0.
Right now, and I have a good feel for that breaking pitch. And a little bit, we talked last night about Jordan Lyles and his long stride. Hanson, not so much. He's a big guy, but he kind of short strides it, and that's what allows him to get on top of his breaking pitch and get real good depth on his slider and his curveball. Got a good fastball, but he leans heavily on the breaking stuff, as you see there. High percentage of sliders and curveballs.
Bourne fouls it back. Michael is 5 for 9 in this Atlanta series. He's hitting .366 in the month of June. During his 12-game hitting streak, he's been a .373 hitter. A .418 on base average during that stretch.
Well, we're giving you all these reasons why the Astros can't beat this guy. And I'll give you one positive note if you're an Astro fan. He's allowed 17 stolen bases in 19 tries. So if the guys that can run a little bit can get on, you can do a little running.
Bourne puts it in the air. Hinske comes in toward the left field line.
The getting on part is the hard part. Yeah. 195 batting average against. Here are the Braves defensively. Hinske's in left. Schaefer and Young have good speed in center and right. Brandon Hicks is starting at third base. Alex Gonzalez, Dan Douglas, Freddie Freeman round out the infield, and Brian McCann behind the plate.
Clint Barmas batting in the 2 spot. Is 1 for 5 in his career against Hanson. .216, 3 homers. He's driven in 7. That's strike 1 to Barmas. Barmas 0 for 3 in this series. 1 for 15 on the homestand. Downs will follow him. That one is outside the right field line and out of play for an 0-2 count for Tommy Hanson, shooting for win number 8 of the season. A 22nd round pick in the 05 draft by the Braves. They signed him the next year. Last year he was 10-11. Very tough luck 10-11 because his ERA was 3.33. Very little run support for Hanson last year. 1-2. For his career, he has a major league ERA of 3.05. Schaefer's over in right center for Barmas.
And this is the type of guy you wish you could load your lineup with left-handed bats, but Brad Mills does not have that luxury. He just doesn't have that many left-handed hitters at his disposal. Right-handed bats hitting .158 against the big guy.
The Braves have beaten the Astros in all 4 games, and they've had 4 quality starts in those 4 games. That's strike 3. 2 outs for Hanson. Matt Downs.
He blisters this fastball over the outside corner. Clint thought it was off the edge, borderline. Very difficult to do anything with that pitch anyway.
With Hunter Pence resting today, Matt Downs gets the number 3 spot in the order for the first time this season. Gets a curve for ball one. 277 for Matt. 4 homers, 16 runs batted in. Very good offensive numbers as well for on base average, 385, and slugging, 554. And he hit a home run off Hansen in Atlanta earlier this year. Grounded behind third. Hicks with the throw to make it a 1-2-3 first, and a 2-0 Atlanta lead.
Committing a team record 7 errors. Houston got 6 runs in the 8th to upend the Pirates 6-5 behind Rick Williams, who got the win in his major league debut. His only start and only win that year, and certainly not one to forget, guys.
Thank you, Greg. Brandon Hicks leading off the second inning, fouls it for strike one. He is hitting 100 for the Atlanta Braves. Just rejoined the Braves from Gwinnett, where he was a .252 hitter with 8 homers, 15 runs batted in. He's been up and down a few times this year. Chris Johnson to his left makes the throw to Brad Wallace. That's out number 1.
The local kid, isn't he? Brandon Hicks.
Brandon Hicks.
He went to A&M.
Okay. He is a local kid, and he did go to A&M. You're right. 25 years old, 3rd round pick in 07 by the Braves. Had just 5 major league at bats with them last year. Matt Young comes up next. 205 is his average. He looks at ball one. He has 1 RBI, and he's had back-to-back 2-hit games in Houston this series. So we're getting a look at some of the new Braves. The series concludes tomorrow night, 7:05 on this wraparound 4-game series.
I'm tempted to crack a joke about Matt Young coming straight from the Belmont Stakes, but I'm not going to say that.
Okay. At least you put it out there. You floated it.
It's the shortest player I've seen in years. How about that, though? That's a beautiful thing, right? You got a guy who's about 5'5", and here he is in the big leagues. He's got a little pop in that bat, too.
He does. Well, 4 for 10 in this series with an RBI. Native of Temple, Texas, University of New Mexico. Yeah, that is a beautiful thing.
Minor leagues, he had 11 straight hits once, reached base safely 16 consecutive plate appearances.
Well, we've talked during this series about the Braves and their injuries. Certainly Jason Hayward would be the right fielder if he were healthy, but he's hurt. Fly ball to left field. Carlos Lee over toward the line. But Hayward is working on his swing in Florida now. He might be ready, recent articles indicate, to go out on a minor league rehab assignment by the middle of this week. Now Tommy Hansen comes up at 0.95 with 2 hits and 21 at bats. Braves have been known as one of the best organizations in the major leagues for many years, as you know. They had 14 straight division titles over one stretch. Out into right center field, and Jason Michaels lays out, rolls over, and hangs on. Tremendous catch by Michaels to get Hansen. And it's only a 9-pitch inning for Brett Myers. 2-0 Braves.
Braves as we go to the bottom of the second, and you can save over 50% on Astros baseball this season with Price Matter Days presented by HEB. Available every Monday through Thursday home games. You score a View Deck 2 ticket, hot dog, HEB chips, and a 16-ounce drink, all for just $10. Visit Astros.com for tickets. Bill Brown.
Yeah, that's a great place to go. Thank you, Patty. On this Sunday afternoon, everybody relax. Hoping to stir it up here in the bottom of the second. From the Astros standpoint, with Lee, Wallace, and Michaels due up against Tommy Hansen, who had a 1-2-3 first. Excellent play to end the top of the second by Jason Michaels. Now Lee with 34 runs batted in, 5 homers, a .269 average. Tries to get something started here. Carlos was 3 for 5 and drove in a couple last night. Been on base in 19 of his last 20 games. Taking strike one. The Astros got off to a nice start, as Carlos had an RBI double in that first inning. Then he doubled in another run in the 10th. But they were shut out from the second through the 9th innings and lost it in 10, 6-3 last night. Braves pitching is tough to reach. Lee takes that one. Carlos is hitting .333 in his last 20 games.
The way the game started last night, it looked like the Astros were going to score about 6 off their starter Minor. They were hammering the ball in the first inning at 3 consecutive extra base hits. And the bats were stifled.
They sure were. It's 2-2. Yankees lead Cleveland 1-0. Bottom of the 4th at Yankee Stadium. Freddie Garcia shutting out the Tribe. Josh Tomlin pitching for Cleveland. Bartolo Colon, the latest to be lost to an injury, a hamstring injury for the Yankees.
And what a renaissance season he's been enjoying.
Yes, he has been. Got some kind of radical treatment from a doctor, and they're checking into that.
I need that treatment.
He's found the fountain of youth.
Yeah.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
That's Hansen's MO right there. He's going to try to get you out a high percentage of the time with his breaking ball, and he's going to use the fastball to push you off the plate. It's not an extreme hard throw. He's got a good fastball and a deceptive one because of that short arm delivery we talked about last inning. A real tight arc when he breaks the glove and then comes ready to throw.
There's a tight arc. Leadoff walk.
Generally, those guys are. It's tough for the hitter to pick the ball up against a guy like that.
Well, you pointed out right-handed hitters with that 158 batting average against Hansen have not been able to do much at all. Now it's lefty hitting Brett Wallace. A .310 batting average for Brett, 10th best in the National League, including 4 homers, 19 runs batted in.
While left-handed batters are not wearing Hansen out, significantly better than what righties have done. Lefty's hitting .246 against them. 4 of the 6 home runs he's allowed have come from left-handed batters. Wow. That almost got to the umpire.
Ball 1 to Wallace, who is 0 for 4 in this series and 2 for 12 on the homestand with an RBI. Lefties significantly better against Hansen. Michaels is on deck. Wallace in the air to left field. Watches this one go out toward Hinsky for the first out. Hunter Pence is getting the day off on a 22-game hitting streak. Some tightness in his back. And at the day game after last night's night game, there was concern that the back might lock up on him. So he's generally thought to be resting and not available. Supposedly, the game goes extra innings or something. We'll see, but probably not. And then hopefully tomorrow night we'll be back in the lineup with the extra time for the rest for his back. He has started every game up until this one this year. Michaels takes, and there's a curve for strike 1 to J. Mike. A 163 hitter with 1 homer, 3 runs batted in.
That's a very good first pitch there. Guys like to hit the fastball. You can drop that hook into the strike zone for strike 1. It's almost a free strike.
Fouled away, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. Jason Bourgeois was in the original lineup, batting second and playing right field, but then he was scratched with a right ankle sprain from last night, about an hour or so before game time.
Do we know how he suffered that ankle sprain?
Not exactly sure, no.
I don't remember anything in last night's game.
No. He stole a base in the 7th, had an at-bat in the 9th inning. Don't remember specifically how that might have happened. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Because since we were already upstairs and had already talked with Brad Mills, that topic did not come up. Michaels is down on strikes. That's strikeout number 2 for Hansen.
His is a good hard breaking pitch. There's no hump in it. Some guys kind of roll it up there, but his comes hard and then just drops off the table.
Chris Johnson will try to get it done. He's hitting .283 in his last dozen games. 1 for 7 in this Braves series. The toss goes over to first on Carlos Lee. Astros have dropped 7 of their last 8. They are now 24 and 41. Wandy Rodriguez rejoins the rotation tomorrow night against Derek Lowe at 7:05. Carlos was shuffling towards second base and drew some attention there. But with Wandy coming back, that means the Astros have to get rid of a starter, so to speak. Send one to the bullpen, send one down, something like that, and that will be discussed after the game today. Johnson takes ball 1. Certainly Jordan Lyles did nothing but further his cause to stick around last night with 6 1/3 innings of 8-hit 2-run baseball. In the air toward the right field line, foul, and then Freeman looking back over his shoulder, couldn't get in to make that catch.
Jordan Lyles 2 out of 3 in terms of quality starts, and I don't mean quality in the statistical sense. I just mean 2 very good starts, outstanding effort in Wrigley, and then last night the thing that most impressed me was the way he navigated those choppy waters in the first and second inning. He allowed back-to-back hits to start the ball game and got out of that, and got a big double play off the bat of Chipper Jones, and then double single to start the second inning. So he had first and third, and he went punch out, fielder's choice punch out, and left the Braves scoreless in that inning. So a very good curveball.
1-2 to CJ.
And again, the thing that impresses so much about Jordan Lyles is he just has the look about him out there that like he's been around for a few years.
Yes, he does.
Some generosity there.
Yeah. Pretty big outside corner on that zone. And Johnson's down on strikes. After a leadoff walk, Hansen gets the next 3. 2-0 Atlanta through 2.
Is proud to support youth baseball leagues in your local community. If you would like to learn more about Chevy youth baseball programs, go to youthsportswired.com. And we've got a lot of youths in the ballpark today, Bill.
We sure do. Looking at some of them right there. And they have watched the Braves jump in front 2-0 after 2. Braves fans were doing some tomahawk chopping last night, and the Astros fans were responding. It got pretty lively in here. Go to the third, and it's Schaefer, Ugla, and McCann due up against Brett Myers. Schaefer reached on the ground ball that trickled out of the glove of a diving Brett Wallace to open the game. Then he stole second, rode home on the 2-run homer by Ugla. Schaefer looks at ball 1.
Pretty good looking pitch.
Daniel Hudson and Arizona have the lead on Florida 4-0. Myers bare hands, throws low and off the glove of Wallace. Didn't look like he had a grip on that.
With Schaefer's speed, he didn't have time to reset, so he took a shot flipping it over there, and Wallace couldn't pick it. Just a little bit off balance when he made the throw. It's going to be an E1. I don't know. That's a tough scoring decision because the speed of Schaefer is what forced Myers to hurry the play. Saw Schaefer right before the pitch cast his eyes out towards second base. And that's ultimately what saw that Downsy was back and felt like he had an opportunity to get a base hit with the bunt. So he didn't get down a real good bunt in terms of the direction. He was able to kill it enough and has good enough speed to force Myers to hurry.
Second error of the year on Myers. Schaefer does run hard up that line. Ugla takes it. It's ball 1 to Dan. His home run in the first was the 6th of his career off Myers. And his 3rd career homer against the Astros. Ugla does not have really good numbers against Houston for his career. 3 homers, 13 runs batted in, a batting average in the 250s.
Braves don't, they hit a lot of home runs, but they don't have anybody with double digits yet. They just have a whole lot of guys with 7, 8. And so they have depth in their lineup, dangerous hitters throughout their lineup on most nights.
Missing all 3 of their starting outfielders. Prado, McLeod, and Hayward. 2 balls and a strike. Prado has 8 homers. Hayward hit 7. He's been out since May 22nd. Throw goes over to first on Schaefer.
You have to assume Hayward, had he been healthy, would be in double digits by now. He's missed 20 ball games.
That Arizona-Florida game, it's 4-0 Arizona after 4 in Florida. Marlins have been dropping back the last few weeks with a long losing streak. 3 balls and a strike now, and the Braves right on the heels of the Phillies right now, just 2 behind. Florida has fallen to 6 games back, losing 9 out of 10 now. And the Mets trail by 7.5. The Mets will be up next for the Braves when they return to Atlanta after the Monday night finale here. A walk to Ugla means it's first and second, nobody out for McCann.
Braves already with a 2-run lead. Tommy Hanson showing signs of being awfully tough to get to this afternoon. This makes this a very important at bat. Here's what happened last night. Talk about important at bats. 3-run jack in the top half of the 10th.
He's hit 3 homers against Houston, 1 in the 9th inning with 2 outs to tie it, the other 2 in extra innings. McCann single to center field first time up. Strike 1 to Bryant. Leading catchers in many categories, including all-star votes in the National League right now. He's hit .373 in his last 15 games. He's behind in the count, 0-2. McCann leads all major league catchers in hits, on base percentage, and he's 3rd in batting average. Corcoran with a stop, making it 1-2. J.R. Tolles is banged up. He's had a sore knee, trying to score on a ball that got by the catcher a few days ago. And he gets a 2nd straight day off. So the first time Corcoran catches Myers other than spring training. Still a 1-ball, 2-strike count. McCann, since the beginning of the 06 season, leads all major league catchers in homers, extra base hits, doubles, runs batted in, 2 out runs batted in, and game-winning RBIs.
Pretty valuable guy. You get that kind of production out of the catcher spot.
You know it. Hey, on many clubs, the catcher's really the cornerstone defensively of what goes on with that club, and the offense is a bonus. Well, McCann provides a lot of bonus work. You can swing a balance if you have a catcher like McCann who contributes so much offensively against the other club. It's very difficult for any other team to have a catcher who produces offensively the way this guy does. Barmas comes after it. Shovels back, down, firing to first, double play. Pretty tough to coordinate because Barmas was charging toward the mound. He had to toss back behind him, and then Downs really used his strong arm to complete it.
Yeah, but the one good thing is you had McCann, all those good numbers, but he's not as fast guy. So a good double play candidate if he hits the ball on the ground. So even though it took a while to get that done, they still were able to finish off the play.
Downs put everything into that throw, as you can see. Now Freeman bats with a runner at 3rd and 2 outs.
Yeah, that at bat right there, that deserves an asterisk in the scorecard right there. That could prove to be huge.
Apparently Chipper Jones hit a tape measure homer in New York that compared favorably to Freeman's home run here Friday night. 1 ball and 1 strike. Chipper resting today. He is a .395 career hitter at Minute Maid Park. Two balls and a strike. You know, at his age, it's quite usual for a player to get a rest on a day game after a night game, but he has looked much younger than his age, the way he's been moving around in this series, and he had a bad knee earlier this year.
I was here last year in August when he got hurt, and we wondered, would we ever see him again?
True.
Maybe that might be the end of the line for him.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, he's been somewhat rejuvenated by having his parents here coming in from South Texas, and his dad gave him some batting tips, which translated to big success. Swing and a miss. That's a good spot. And Myers got a strikeout on Freeman after the double play ball from McCann to keep the score at 2-0 Atlanta.
Possible. And by Hyundai, introducing the Hyundai Assurance Trade-in Value Guarantee. See your Hyundai dealers for details.
Steamy day outside. Inside, it's Braves 2, Astros nothing. Bottom of the 3rd. Begins with the catcher, Carlos Corcoran. He already has 2 hits and 5 at-bats in this series, joining the Astros from AAA Oklahoma City. He had missed 5 weeks with a broken finger. So as he steps up, he's a .400 hitter. He had 1 previous major league hit prior to this year. That was in '09, but that was tainted.
Yeah.
Came off Paul Janisch.
Yeah, it's a good thing he got back to the big leagues and get a hit off a legitimate pitcher.
May 6th, '09. Reds infielder Paul Janisch was pitching in a 15-3 win for the Brewers. That's when Carlos got his first major league hit. 0-2. Brett Myers to follow, and then Michael Bourne will be up 3rd in the inning. Seattle leads at Detroit 3-2. They played 5. Miguel Olivo hit his 9th homer. Strikeout for Hansen. That's number 4.
The previous swing just convinced Hansen that he could blow that fastball by Carlos, who came right back with it. Tough to time. He's got a little bit of a hitch in his delivery. Kind of gets the ball at the top, and there's a little bit of a hesitation. Carlos well behind that fastball.
Brett Myers with 4 hits this year. Takes that one. There's strike 1. He has a .167 average. Popped up foul. McCann comes over for a look, and it's out of play. So with the 6 shutout innings for Hansen in his last start, he is extending that shutout inning streak here today. He's not allowed to hit so far. He walked Carlos Lee leading off the second inning.
Astros have lost 6 in a row to Atlanta now, 10 of their last 11 ball games.
Strikeout number 5. That's 4 in a row. Michael Bourne hit the fly ball to left after working the count full in the first inning. It's King Felix going for Seattle today in Detroit with a 3-2 lead after 5. Felix Hernandez versus Rick Porcello.
The red hot Red Sox stay red hot. Say that fast 3 times. Red hot Red Sox.
Stay red hot.
Yeah, 9-1 they lead Toronto in the middle innings after 16 runs they scored yesterday on the Blue Jays.
And won 8 in a row.
Adrian Gonzalez has driven in at least 1 run in all 8 of those ball games.
He hit his 13th homer today. Big Papi exploded again. Number 17 for him. Dustin Pedroia hit his 5th. Bautista 21 for Toronto.
It's been a while for Bautista.
True.
Big Papi, they were ready to put him out to pasture last spring. Remember early last season?
Yes.
Papi was done.
Well, this could be his best year ever. He's on a pace to make it his best year. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Greg Lucas was talking about those rumors that are being circulated about the Astros being placed in the American League on the pregame show. Bourne's down on strikes, and Hansen has struck out the side to give him 6 through 3 innings and a 2-0 Braves lead.
Trivia question. Our question of the day: Ted Turner once owned and managed the Braves. He owned them for a long time, managed them for 1 game. Question is, who did he replace? But who really called the shots in the game?
Okay.
Sort of a 2-parter.
Who really called the shots? Okay.
Rico Cardi.
Fly ball might drop in as a hit. Wallace downs over into foul territory. And Gonzalez is retired on 1 pitch. Was Ted Simmons involved in that? I'll ask you, Greg.
No. I will say, however, it was a coach. Now, that's the tricky part. You can't remember who the top coach was.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, who would he replace? He was sent out supposedly on a scouting mission.
Really?
Russ Nixon?
No, but they both have a connection with a different team.
Okay.
The Brownie knows.
Eric Hinsky. Strike 1. Cincinnati, maybe?
That's the team.
Okay. Connection with Cincinnati.
He managed the Reds, also the Braves.
Dave Bristol.
That's one. That's a little tinkle because that's only half the question.
All right.
You can't say little tinkle on TV.
That's true.
Hey, it's sports. We can break some rules. Okay, so
now we're wanting to know who actually called the shots.
Who
Basically,
called the shots?
which coach was really telling Ted what he had to do.
that one I have no idea on. JD.
Bobby Dews.
Bobby Dews.
Well, I knew this would be tough, so I knew this would be a half a bell. It was
Whitey.
his first name was Vern,
Vern Rapp.
and his last name wasn't Rapp. That was my next clue.
Okay.
Vern, it was that guy. You know what I'm talking about, Vern? That guy.
Vern, that guy Vern.
Actually, he
Okay.
did
Him from
fit.
the South. I think he was a Georgia guy.
He was.
He coached the big leagues for a number of years, but it's been several years, obviously, since he did.
Vern Hoshite?
Vern Benson.
Vern Benson, okay.
Now we'll show it to all the fans at home that couldn't hear this exciting banter. Ted Turner once managed the Braves. Who really called the shots? Well, Dave Bristol was the manager. Vern Benson made the calls in the dugout. And then the big call was made by Bowie Kuhn, who said, "You can't do that again."
True. Hinsky struck out. 2 outs now, and it's Hicks.
And that's when Ted decided he had to skip or something, so he started driving yachts around.
Oh, yeah. Now, was Ted thrown out of that game, Greg? Do you remember?
I don't think so.
Okay. He was just thrown off the team as far as managing.
And the Braves, when they were in Boston, had done it many, many years ago. Judge Emil Fuchs actually also did the same thing. He came in and managed the team for a year, or not for a year, but for a game or so.
See, if I were Drayton, I would do that. If you're selling the club, you've owned it all these years.
Yeah, maybe the last day before the ownership takes over, I'm going to manage.
Put a uni on and go hang out in the dugout.
Oh. Out to left center field. Michael Bourne's churning back. This one's a high flyer. Right there at the bullpen wall. He jumps. And Michael Bourne snags it for out number 3. He got back early and timed the leap to rob Brandon Hicks. 2-0 Braves. J. Mike diving in right center field on the ball hit by Hanson. High flyer. And then Bourne leaping to rob Hicks just a moment ago.
Hicks just has bad aim. Pretty good swing on that one. Fairly big part of the yard, and with Michael Bourne out there, if anybody's going to catch it, he's the man.
Glenn Barmas Struck out looking in the first inning, just taking ball one there. Big play by Bourne. And when a guy's pitching the way Hansen is, those plays are certainly appreciated. Figures to be a very difficult day to score against Hansen.
Not allowed to hit yet. He's got 6 strikeouts, including 5 in a row.
When he beat the Astros and Brett Myers in Atlanta May 16th, they gave up 3 hits and 1 earned run in 7 innings. He struck out 10 while walking 1. Fair ball. Hicks with the long throw. Good arm, but high and safe. Great work by Barmas to go down and avoid the tag by Freeman.
What do you do if you're the official scorer? B5. That's the correct call. Tough play, but a good throw gets him. He's got plenty of arm. Hicks can really throw, but the ball comes up the line on him. Definitely done there by Clint Barmas.
Sure was. He went in hard at first base, but was able to avoid that tag. So the error on Hicks gives Barmas a chance to be a base runner, and it's Matt Downs batting. He grounded to third earlier. Looking at ball 1. Downs, an excellent fastball hitter, and he got a breaking pitch there. Looks like he's ready for war with the eye black on today. It's 2-0. Maybe Downs will get his fastball now.
Well, you know he'll be sitting on one. He's been able to chip away at that outside corner pretty well against right-handed hitters this afternoon. At that time.
No. When you know you have a good fastball, when the hitter realizes it's coming and you can still almost throw it by him or get a foul ball. The worst start Hansen has had of the 4 against the Astros was 8 innings, 2 runs allowed.
Kent keeps calling for that fastball down and away, and he's just throwing it over the heart of the plate. He's gotten away with it. Now he's back in the count. I suspect he'll try a breaking pitch here.
Hansen spent the offseason doing some exercises to strengthen his lower back. It gave him some problems, caused some fatigue last year. Grounded foul.
A little bit of a hanger.
This is the 3rd time Hansen and Myers have opposed each other. Hansen's 2-0 in the first 2. 50 pitches so far, 34 have been strikes. And he gets a foul tip strikeout. That's number 7.
This time he was able to get that fastball to the outside corner, slipped it right by Matt. So Matt opening up the hips a little bit, looking for something he could turn on.
Carlos Lee has been the only Houston base runner until the error. He drew a leadoff walk until the second inning, leading off. And there's strike 1 to him. Mike Minor, the young lefty, pitched a fine game last night for the Braves. 6 innings, 2 earned runs allowed. And they brought the bullpen arms in. Check swing call there by Bruce Dreckman makes it a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Carlos Lee. That was close.
Yeah, I would say most of those you could go either way. That's what I would do if I were umping down there at first. I just have a little indicator, kind of like a possession arrow in basketball. Yes, no, yes, no.
Well, it's difficult to make that call. We slowed it down. Still hard to be sure. Cubs lead at Philadelphia 3-2 after 4. Ramos Ramirez hit his 4th.
You know, and I remember when we were kids, we said he didn't break his wrist, and that's, well, the bat's got to go out in front of home plate. And I think if you were to talk to any first base umpire, any umpire, would tell you, I'm just looking in, and it looks like a swing to me. I'm calling it a swing. They're not. They can't see, you know, really where the bat is in relationship to the plate with any degree of certainty.
Line shot to center field. First hit for the Astros comes from Carlos Lee. A well hit ball, and Lee advances Barmas to second with 1 out for Wallace.
So if you had 4 in the break up the no hit pool, you're a winner. Punish that fastball. Hanson pretty aggressive in the strike zone with the fastball in this inning. Couple right over the heart of the plate to Downs and got away with it. But this time El Caballo makes him pay.
He's having some fun with Bobby Meacham.
Meacham gave him a little first base coach advice, and Carlos said, "Here, you run. You want to run?"
Brett Wallace is next with 2 on and 1 out. Strike to Wallace, who hit a fly ball to left in the second inning. Roy Oswalt is on the mound for the Phillies on the losing end of that 3-2 game after 4 with the Cubs. Doug Davis pitching for Chicago. Now it's 0-2 for Wallace. Oswalt has given up 5 hits and 3 earned runs in 4 2/3 innings so far. Wallace chased the breaking pitch in the dirt and struck out. It's strikeout number 8.
Brett had the day off yesterday. This is coming off an 0 for 4 night with 3 strikeouts in the opener, the game that Tim Hudson started for Atlanta. Going through a rough patch right now. He's just not seeing the ball very well.
True. Yeah, he has been pretty disciplined most of this year, but lately swinging at more pitches outside the zone. Jason Michaels struck out in the second. He would love to be able to come up with a 2-out lift for the Astros here, trailing 2-0. Chris Johnson on deck. That's strike 1. Tampa Bay 5, Baltimore 3. They're in the bottom of the 4th at Baltimore. Johnny Damon hit his 8th home run for the Rays. Vladimir Guerrero number 8, Adam Jones number 9 for the Orioles. Way upstairs.
They will be calling it the Boston Massacre in Toronto. It's 12-1 now. Sox over Toronto. They've outscored the Blue Jays 33-6 so far in that 3-game series.
Ooh.
A couple innings yet to play this afternoon.
They may not be able to get through customs quickly after that transfer.
Yeah, you got to make them pay somehow.
They made us pay. 1 and 2.
What'd we do to them?
Won a couple games, but we had to wait for the Blue Jays to go through first, of course. Of course. Home city advantage. Fouled away, and it's still 1 and 2 to J. Mike. Mets and Pirates are scoreless after 6.
Well, see if the Astros go to the American League, we'll get to go to Toronto more often.
Ooh. That was a good trip, but the customs thing would stop a lot of people cold if they had to do that on a regular basis.
It's just a minor inconvenience.
You liked it, didn't you?
Well, I don't like the customs experience, but it's not that big a deal.
Now, a little conference coming up with McCann going out. Well, you know, there's been all this talk lately. We started to get into it because some of the columnists are floating the idea that maybe the Astros would be switched to the American League to create 2 15-team leagues. And if they kept the current divisions aligned the way they are and put the Astros in the AL West, there'd be a lot of late West Coast night games. Would not be good for Houston
that wouldn't
viewers.
fly. I couldn't see us buying into that program.
Halladay, first pitcher to 9 wins.
Won't be long for Jeter now to join that 3,000 hit club.
Out to center field, and Schaefer's on the run. Schaefer gets back for the catch. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 2 men left after 4. It is 2-0 Braves.
Time now to introduce you to our progressive fans of the game all the way up here, upper level, Pat and Mark from Omaha. Pat's birthday. Tell us, there's so many reasons why you should be our fans of the game, but I'm going to let you describe what big Astro fans you are.
Well, we came from Omaha just for a weekend of games. We love Minute Maid and we love the Astros games so much that we just flew out here just for the weekend to watch the games.
Yeah, we have lived in Houston for 10 years, from 1999 to 2009. Became great fans. We watch every telecast that we can get up in Omaha through DirecTV and really enjoy all the games. We came this weekend specifically to get the bobblehead because the broadcast team is such a part of our life. We see you guys almost every day. We have a room in our house that's just decorated with Astro stuff, all the bobbleheads, all the souvenirs, all the stuff that we've gotten over the years. So we're just great fans.
And what makes it even better is you grew up in Milwaukee, so you really now despise the Braves. So this makes it even better for you to be here.
Go Astros. Got to win today.
All right, now they've got a daughter who actually alerted me that they were here, Joanna. She is in Italy. She watches every game on MLB.TV, and I'm going to let you guys, I know you haven't seen her since Christmas, so I know she's watching. She's happy to see you. A little message out to Joanna.
Hi, Joanna. You're the best Astros fan and the best daughter. We love you.
You are the ultimate daughter. I love you.
Oh, and these are the ultimate fans. They are our progressive fans of the game. Thanks for the tip, Joanna. Thanks, guys.
That was terrific,
Good
Patty.
work, Patty. Yeah, good fans. My goodness.
3 balls and 1 strike to count on Hansen after Young lined out to Michael Bourne in left center field. Hansen lined out to a diving Jason Michaels earlier. Now this one goes out toward right center field. Deeper. Michaels going back. Michaels on the run. Does
Try
it again.
somebody else.
He really had to backtrack on that one and then extend.
He tried to drop one in front of him, a sinking line drive that he ran down. Now he tries to push one over his head into the alley. He's running down the line hard, thinking, I got myself an extra base hit. And Jason said, no, not going to happen. Not on my watch. Not going to let some 2 for 21 hitting pitcher come in here and hit one over my head.
Outstanding work by J. Mike. Now Schaefer, he's 1 for 2. Well, the Astros might not be doing much hitting, but they are slapping some leather around today. Strike 1. Schaefer got the infield hit, stole second, rode home on the 2-run homer by Ugla in the first inning, and those are the only runs. No balls, 2 strikes. That was impressive, though. The family flew all the way in for the weekend, and then their daughters watching in Italy. Great fans. And Patty makes another trip to the upper deck. Hold up the line outside first. Still 0-2. In that Met-Pirate game, 0-0 after 6 in Pittsburgh. It's Chris Capuano for the Mets. Kevin Correa for the Buccos. What a year he's put together. Cardinals leading there 2-0 in Milwaukee in the 4th. Milwaukee's done a job on them this weekend.
Jake Westbrook for St. Louis today, and I believe that's Markham, number 18 for Milwaukee. Frankie got the win yesterday. He's 6-1 now.
Varmus comes charging in, makes the throw on the run to Wallace. And in the 5th inning, it's a 1-2-3 frame thanks to the Michaels catch. 2-0 Atlanta. Be able to meet them in person with their loyalty down through the years, and good to see you guys. Going back tomorrow and have a great trip back.
Try to.
We don't usually get to meet people in person. This is great, Patty.
Well, they were just, number one, they were just awesome, and they truly are. Like they said, you know, the players come and go, but the broadcast team has stayed the same, and they feel like they know us. So we had to bring them down here and get a ball signed for you guys.
We'll do it. We'll do it.
Brought it just to get Patty's autograph. She said, no. You need to get. I need to get you guys.
Oh, happy to do that. There's ball 1 as Hansen works to Chris Johnson here in the bottom of the 5th inning. That's a beautiful thing about it, though, now with the dish packages and everything. People who have lived here and moved to other areas can still follow the club, even from Italy.
Yeah, and you know, and we see people in Milwaukee every year that never lived here, but for some reason they're huge Astro fans, and they were here this weekend as well. We always see them in Milwaukee.
True.
You're welcome.
Thank you guys for coming.
You guys.
Have a good trip back.
Have a good weekend.
Line shot into right field. Chris Johnson smacks one. And that's hit number 2 for the Astros. Leading off the home 5th inning. He starts it, and Corcoran comes up next.
Well, good sign there. Good solid line drive. Tommy Hansen has not given the Astros much to swing at today. Good fastball over the outside edge there, but the curveball has been the difference maker. Shows you both the curveball and the slider, but that curveball is just flat out nasty. That one right there, my goodness. So So you got to deal with this guy for however long he stays in the game. Then they turn it over to one of the best bullpens in the game if need be. So, boy, you got to take advantage of your opportunities when you get them.
Corcoran looks at ball one. And there may not be many. Hansen with a career high 11 strikeout game. July 20th of 09 against the Giants has 8 already. So hitting him is a real chore. That 195 batting average against that JD talked about earlier. Best among National League starters.
He reminded me a little bit, and the delivery's not exactly the same, but the idea that, you know, the good fastball and the short stride for a tall guy and that big curveball. Darryl Kyle kind of had that same game plan. Hansen's one of those guys, if you were to handicap potential no-hitter guys at the start of the year, you'd have to give him pretty decent odds.
Yes. Very late swing there, and that makes it 1-2 with Myers on deck.
Again, it's the nature of his delivery as much as anything, because that fastball is going up on the gun at 90 miles an hour, which is, you know, major league average.
It is fascinating, though, to look at the velocity and then look at the delivery of the pitcher. How tough he is to pick up.
Right, and that's why sometimes you got to look beyond the number. You can tell by the swings. There's a lot of late swings.
They sure have been today, and that's been the case many times for Hansen. He throws over to first. Hansen, with a couple previous starts here in Houston, allowed just one unearned run in 15 innings. So he now has a 19-inning stretch without allowing an earned run in this ballpark to start his career. Foul back. Corcoran starts with that wide open stance, then he closes. He's a switch hitter. Castro's got a good look at him in spring training. He's 27 years old. And then starting the year at Oklahoma City, doing well, but he was injured. And Robinson Cancel came up for a time because Corcoran was hurt. He's worked the count full now. Carlos was at AAA Reno last year, hitting .290 for 286 at bats.
.250 lifetime hitter in the minor leagues. Having a pretty good year down at AAA this season. I think the kid that's got good numbers is that Chris Wallace.
Yes, very good numbers.
Catcher down at the lower levels.
Runner going. The throw is high, and it's a stolen base. It was strike 3 call. Chris Johnson got the steal. It's out number 1. It's 9 strikeouts.
I'm talking about the one chink in the armor for Hansen is he's easy to steal bases on. And CJ gets second base easily. Not have a particularly quick delivery.
Our leaders of the game is brought to you by United, proud to fly the Houston Astros. The Astros have the highest stolen base percentage in the majors, 85.5 before that steal. And now it's Myers batting. That was Johnson's second steal of the year. Freeman's in tight at first base, so is Hicks at third. Myers struck out in the 3rd inning.
I'm showing a bunt here, but it's not a bunt situation.
And it's strike 1. Okay, so if he shows bunt, how much does that influence the first and third baseman to come in, even though they think he might not, probably won't be?
No, I think they're. Frankly, I don't know why they're in.
Yeah, it's hard to figure. Now 0-2.
There's one out in the inning, a man on second base. It's just not a bunt situation.
And now they back up, of course.
And I guess other than the fact that, you know, they feel like he probably feels like he's overmatched at the plate, so he may try to, you know, drop down a bunt for a hit, but they're not thinking sacrifice.
Myers is down on strikes. That's 10 for Hansen. And it's Michael Bourne coming up. He's 0 for 2. Fly ball to left and a strikeout swinging.
My goodness. 5th inning, he's got 10 punch-outs already.
We mentioned he had 11 strikeouts against the Giants in that game July 20th of 09. That's his major league high. And a one-hopper fielded by Ogla. Turns into out number 3. No runs, a hit. A runner stranded at second after 5. The Braves lead it 2-0.
Anything on the menu any time of day. And by Gullo Automotive, treating you like family. Ronnie?
Thank you, Greg. Tough game here for Brett Myers. As the ice cream is flowing there, he is hard at work, trailing 2-0, knowing that mistakes are not going to be tolerated on a day like this. He gave up a 2-run homer in the first inning. He is up against it the way Hansen is throwing. And there is ball 1. Dan Ogla hit one of those back in the first inning for a 2-run homer, and he walked in the third.
Yeah, to a certain extent, as a pitcher, you can't control wins and losses. You can just control your effort and your performance. To that end, Brett Myers has stepped up this afternoon after giving up that 2-run home run. And then a following single to McCann. He has not allowed another hit.
Fastball in for a strike, makes it 2-1.
And this game kind of follows the form of a lot of his games where he gets nicked early and then settles in and pitches very well. And then right at the end, he'll have a bad inning. So that's the challenge here, to get through this 6th inning unscathed.
Up the middle and into center field. Ogla continues a perfect day. Homer walk, single now.
Let's take a look at Brett Myers' work here this afternoon. There's the home run, a little floater that Ogla jumped on, and there's no doubt this one was going to leave the ballpark. After that, Myers got locked in with that breaking pitch. Fastball to get Freeman. Brett Myers last year in this, most of the highlights we show you are on that breaking ball.
McCann looks at it. It's ball 1. Single to center and bounced into a double play.
Double play, that was the key at bat so far in this game since the 2-run homer. First and second, nobody out.
It's 2-0. Myers has pitched at least 6 innings in 43 of 46 starts as an Astro.
So last thing I mentioned is Wallace kid. I was just looking at his numbers. Chris Wallace, he's a local guy, Cy-Fair, and then University of Houston, playing down at Lexington in A-ball. 12 home runs already, 42 driven in, hitting 300. On-base plus slugging of 937.
High drive deep to right field. Michaels at the wall, leaping. And that's a 2-run homer by McCann. His 4th against the Astros this season, giving him 8 runs batted in. And the Braves lead 4-0.
So much for unscathed. It's remarkable how many games like this Brett has had. He gets touched early, gets nicked up in the first, settles in, gets you into the the middle innings, looking pretty good, and then throw a crooked number up on him. Last time it was Jake Westbrook, the opposing pitcher, who had a bases clearing double. Proved to be a big hit in that game, and now this providing a little more breathing room for Tommy Hanson, who might not need a whole lot of breathing room. Ryan McCann has just gone deep for the 4th time against the Astros this year.
That makes a world of difference in a game like this, to double the lead from 2-0 to 4-0. That was McCann's 3rd career homer against Myers. He's hit all 4 of those home runs. Meaningful situations too this year against the Astros.
Obviously Myers not happy, but Brad Arnsberg, boy, he really gets invested in his pitchers. He's stinging from these struggles for Myers as well.
Freddie Freeman with a couple of strikeouts, looks at ball 1. One ball, 1 strike. The Braves now have hit 10 homers against the Astros this year. This is the 5th game between the two. One and 2 to Freeman.
Freeman's just another word for nothing left to lose.
And he struck him out on a curve. 3rd strikeout of Freeman. That's number 5 for Myers.
We've seen him look very, very good, and we've seen him look kind of ugly in some of his at-bats. Taking some weird swings. He had no clue on that curveball.
That's 1 out. Now it's Gonzalez. Gonzalez is 0 for 2. He gets a curve, and there's strike 1 to Gonzalez. I understand Francisco Liriano of Minnesota has a no-hitter going against Texas through 7.
He already got 1 this year.
Yes, he does.
He's not having a very good year.
Fly ball to right. Michaels handles out number 2. And it's Eric Hinsky coming up. He threw 1 against the White Sox May 3rd. And now through 7 against the hard-hitting Rangers. He's making another bid.
Twins playing much better baseball of late. Maybe too late for them to get back in the race. Time will tell. Mariano, ERA at 4.60 now with 7 shutout this afternoon. So,
kind of an all or nothing year for him. No balls, 2 strikes to Hinsky. Farmers, Downs, and Lee due up in the Houston 6th.
Twins have won 8 out of 10. Started play today 10 games off the pace in the Central. They find hope, I'm sure, in the fact that Cleveland has really backslid. Detroit may be the team to beat in that division now. They were tied with Cleveland starting play today.
1 and 2. Best winning percentage in the National League to this point is the Phillies, 600. In the American League, it's Boston's 594. Wallace throwing to Myers, gets the 3rd out. Ugla single. McCann 2-run homer, in the Braves lead it now 4-0 in the 6th. homers. Dan Uggla hit one in the first. Then it was Brian McCann after Ugla's single in the 6th inning to make it 4-0. And meanwhile, Tommy Hanson has been a buzzsaw, allowing just 2 singles. He walked a man, another reached on an error through the first 5, while Hanson has struck out 10. Glenn Barmas steps up as the home 6th begins. Barmas is 0 for 2, struck out looking, and he reached on the error by the third baseman Hicks. Matt Downs on deck with the Astros having been out hit to this point. 5-2. Each club has 1 error. And around a bunt. Ball 1 up and in to Barmas. Yankees lead the Indians 6-1. They're in the bottom of the 7th at Yankee Stadium. 1 ball, 1 strike.
5-run 5th for the Yankees. Man, that club hits a lot of home runs.
You know it. None so far today.
Not even the Grandy Man?
No. 13 hits. Well, we know the Grandy Man can. Fly ball into shallow left center field. Schaefer. 1 out. And no text message yet from Mark Teixeira. Matt Downs has grounded to third and he has struck out. What's the other one? Swishalicious?
I don't know. He had one from Russell Martin, too.
Oh, yeah.
Russell has muscle, I think.
That's it. That's it.
John Sterling, right?
John Sterling.
Play-by-play guy for Yankees radio. You can Google YouTube the Sterling Shake.
Oh, yeah. We've seen that.
Yeah, this kind of dance he does when he does the Yankees win.
That's worthwhile. It's worthwhile Google. See him physically shaking his entire body. 2 balls, no strikes. Ryan Roberts hit his 10th home run for Arizona. Diamondbacks still lead 4-1 at Florida after 7. And gets away upstairs, and it's 3-0 for Hanson. Hanson had 83 pitches for the day. He does not have a complete game this year. 3-1.
And Downs' last at bat, he missed with some fastballs up. And because Downs does have a reputation of being a good fastball hitter, the tendency is to try to overthrow. And then you lose command.
He overthrew and lost command, and he walked it. We go to Patty Smith.
Well, on Saturday, June 25th, the Astros and Boot Campaign present a post-game concert featuring Creed frontman Scott Stapp. The Astros host the Rays at 6:05, and a portion of the proceeds benefit the Lone Survivor Foundation to support returning war veterans. Just visit astros.com/boot for tickets, Bill.
Thanks, Patty. Carlos Lee has walked, and he has lined a single center field. One of the 2 Houston hits off Hanson. That's strike 1. Now instead of the 2-0 lead, it's 4-0. So Lee would have represented potential tying run had the Braves not gotten the McCann homer. That makes it quite different for Hanson.
It really makes it so much tougher. And it's like the psyche of the team that's coming from behind, in this case, the Astros, because even though Hanson's been dominant today, when you're only down 2 runs, you're thinking, hey, a bloop or a walk, and somebody runs into one. And we got a tie ball game. He makes one mistake, we got a chance to tie the ball game. But he's going to have to make a whole lot of mistakes to come back from down 4. And so far, there's been no indication that he's going to do that.
Carlos Lee is the only Astro who has not struck out in this game.
And if he starts to show signs of losing it, Freddie Gonzalez will get that very talented bullpen up in a hurry.
Talented is accurate. Last night it was O'Flaherty for 1, Venters for 1, Linebrink for 1. They all pitched scoreless ball. Kimbrel closed it out. He gave up a run, but still he had a 4-run lead when he came in. Bounce foul past Dave Clark. Still no balls, 2 strikes to Carlos Lee.
Breaking ball he left in the strike zone. 0-2. breaking ball out of the zone, showing in the zone, and breaking hard out of the zone has been a good pitch for him.
One and two. Cincinnati and San Francisco play the night game at AT&T Park. Edinson Volquez to oppose Jonathan Sanchez. Bill Hall made his debut yesterday with the Giants. Freddie Sanchez got hurt. Line shot, left field corner, and that liner will stay fair, go into the corner. And here is Downs coming around third, coming to the plate. No relay to the plate. 4-1. RBI double by Carlos Lee. His 35th run batted in. Well, Lee's been picking up doubles quite often recently. That's number 16.
Hansen left that breaking ball in the strike zone again. 2 strikes. Carlos so good at staying back. That's a mistake. And it's also a very good swing. Still have to be proficient enough with that bat in your hands to take advantage of it. That's what this game is all about. Pitcher's going to give you so many pitches to hit in the course of a ball game or an at bat, and how often are you able to put the barrel on it and tell the story? Only the 9th extra base hit allowed to a right-handed batter this year.
Red Wallace is 0 for 2. That's amazing. Let's see, 4th double for Carlos on this homestand. This is game number 6 on the homestand. Michaels is on deck. It's 1-1. Scott Linebrink is warming up for the Braves.
That swing at that curveball right there is the one that elicits the why is he swinging at that pitch from a lot of fans. Well, because he sees it out of the hand. He doesn't see curveball. That's the deception. And you only have so much time to react if it's that good heater. So now he's thinking about the curveball and he can't pull the trigger on the heater, and his mind is just twisted in knots right now. Only takes one.
Washington and San Diego get started a little later this afternoon. It'll be Jordan Zimmerman versus Tim Stauffer in that matchup. Wallace is down on strikes. That's number 11 for Hansen, tying his high in a major league game.
I think it's just a subtle strategic ploy by the Astros here. They're going to be well rested for the final 3 innings of this game because they just walked back to the dugout a lot.
They sure have.
And a lot of late inning energy.
J. Mike is 0 for 2 with a strikeout on a fly ball. Fouls that one away, strike 1. Colorado got 3 in the first for Ubaldo Jimenez. And leads the Dodgers 3-0, top of the 2nd inning now. Seth Smith with his 6th home run. De La Rosa is pitching for the Rockies, for the Dodgers, rather. Third baseman Hicks cuts across, throws to a stretching Freeman, and he keeps his right foot on the base. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 left through 6. It's 4-1 Atlanta.
Insurance Trade-In Value Guarantee. See your Hyundai dealers for details. We get set to tune to action. Let's go back upstairs to Bill Brown and Jim Deshea.
Thank you, Greg Lucas. Now the Braves come up leading 4-1 with Brandon Hicks in the 7th inning. He's 0 for 2. Almost got an extra base hit his last time up in the 4th, but Michael Bourne, leaping at the bullpen fence, made a nice catch on him. 5 hits for the Braves, 3 for the Astros. Each club has 1 error. It's 2-0 for Brett Myers, who's due up 3rd in the bottom of the inning. Tomorrow night, it's Wandy Rodriguez and Derek Lowe at 7:05 to conclude this series. 3 balls, no strikes. Airtime for Astros Live at 6:30 tomorrow night. Then the Pirates start a 3-game set Tuesday night. Bud Norris opposing Jeff Karstens. 3-1 now to Hicks. Wednesday night at 7:05, it's Jay Happ and Charlie Morton. Thursday, a day game, 1:05. James McDonald against TBA.
TBA's got good stuff.
We'll see TBA a lot on these probables. By the way, the Thursday 1:05 start will be on May 20. Jason Michaels over into right center field is in front of this one. That's 1 out.
Pretty good example there of why it's not a bad idea to give a guy a green light on 3-0. Threw him a fastball with not a lot on it right down the middle on 3-0. Then painted the outside corner with the 3-1 pitch and then went back on the outer third on the 3-2 offering. And really had a good pitch to swing at on 3-0. And Myers has good control. It only walked 1. You're playing with a 3-run lead.
Young fouls it for strike 1. He's 0 for 2. Kansas City failed to score in the first at Anaheim against the Angels.
Now, it may very well be that Hicks had a green light on 3-0, just opted not to swing. Some guys don't like to swing on 3-0.
No balls, 2 strikes. Michael Bourne is well over toward left center. Ball goes toward him. Didn't have to move far. 2 outs. Now Hansen comes up. Jason Michaels will be ready for Tommy Hansen. He's retired him twice.
He's probably going to have to go to the line to get this one.
First time up, J. Mike made a tumbling catch in right center, and then he went back and with full extension made a very good retreating play. Ball 1. Looks like he might be playing him a little bit deeper than he was last time up when he had to back up several steps.
Near misses for the 87 hitter.
Yeah.
And being part of that fraternity myself, you'd hate to see those opportunities go by.
Do you remember anybody making a great catch on you like J. Mike made last time up on Hansen? You hit it way over the guy's head.
No,
I
didn't ever hit it over anybody's head in the outfield.
Okay.
I remember hitting one in the left field on Joe Youngblood. I don't think he had to go very far in line drive. One of the really highlights of my hitting career.
Joel Youngblood. He had to catch one time with the Reds in Montreal because Johnny Bench had left the game and Bill Plummer, who was Johnny's backup, was in catching. He got thrown out. So Joel was the emergency catcher. He had to go back there behind the plate. This will be the 100th pitch.
How much grief did he give Plummer? The backup catcher getting ejected, forcing him into action.
Exactly.
That's horrible.
He struck him out. That's number 6 for Myers. And it is 4-1 Atlanta as the fans will participate in the singing of God Bless America on this Sunday at Minute Maid Park. with Chris Johnson leading it off for the Astros, who have been out hit 5-3. The Braves have a pair of 2-run homers in this game. And Tommy Hanson has been the story. There's strike one. CJ opened the fifth for the Astros with a single to right off him and stole a base. He's 1 for 2. Breaking pitch makes it no balls, 2 strikes. This will be the 100th pitch coming up for Hanson.
CJ one hit in last night's game, but he hit the ball hard 2 other times. Solid line drive single last time up. Good ratio of strike to balls for Hanson. Very impressive performance from the young right-hander, just 24 years of age.
Struck him out. That's 12 strikeouts.
That curveball is mystifying.
Carlos Corberán comes up. He is struck out twice. Jeff Capinger comes out to the on-deck circle to pinch hit for Myers. Fernando Rodriguez is warming up in the Houston bullpen. In tight, there's ball 1 to Corberán. So a new career high for Hanson with a dozen strikeouts, and he's just thrown 2 pitches. Top foul. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Braves have 8 shutouts this season. Their staff ERA 2.99 is the best in the National League. They rank 4th in strikeouts as a team. Pulled foul. The Astros' high for striking out in a game this year was 15 times at Atlanta May 16th. That was the game Hanson started, and he had 10 in 7 innings.
Yeah, because they got plenty of swing and miss arms in that bullpen to come in behind him.
Well, Hanson now has struck out 22 against the Astros. And make it 23. 23 strikeouts in 13 2/3 innings. We go to Patty Smith. Patty?
Well, be sure to catch the 9-inning lunch break for every weekday afternoon game this season with the next available game coming up this Thursday, June 16th, as the Astros host the Pirates at 105. You get a field box ticket and $20 in food and beverage credit, all for only $45. Visit astros.com/value for tickets. Bill?
Thanks, Patty. Now it's Jeff Capinger pitch hitting for Brett Myers, who in 7 innings allowed 5 hits, 4 runs. Capinger fouls it away. There's strike 1. Myers had 1 walk, 6 strikeouts.
Hanson piling up the strikeouts. Jeff Capinger very difficult to strike out. Another day. Brett Myers' effort may be good enough to win, but right now he's on the wrong side of the decision. Need the Astros to rally to get him off the hook.
He threw 100 pitches, 63 were strikes.
Just a couple of home runs. Other than that, a bunch of zeros.
Capinger has struck out only twice in 58 plate appearances this season.
Well, we looked the other day, and he had not swung and missed at a fastball in the strike zone yet this year.
Taps that one foul to stay alive at 1-2. Milwaukee has scored 4 times in the bottom of the 6th inning and leads St. Louis 4-3, still batting in the 6th. Prince Fielder hit his 19th home run.
My goodness. Miller Park must be popping.
You know it, because the Brewers could move into first with a win today. They would be a half game in front of St. Louis. They would have won 3 in a row from the Cardinals.
And that's why he doesn't swing and miss much. He is so quick. He stays back. He sees the ball a good long while. because of that approach, he's not going to hit the ball out of the ballpark, but that's not his game. This is the type of hitter you love to have up there in those man on third, less than 2 out situations. And you know he's going to make contact almost all the time. Just spoiled another good pitch. Milwaukee Brewers 24-9 at Miller Park. I don't know that there's a better home record in baseball. There's not in the National League. There is not in all of Major League Baseball, as I peruse a little standing sheet here. Oh.
Keppinger did strike out. He expanded his zone, and striking out the side in the 7th, Henson now goes to a 14 strikeout day, leading 4-1.
Come out June 15th for an autograph session with Astros first baseman Brett Wallace and Junction Jack at the Whataburger at 8820 Highway 6 in Missouri City from 11 to noon. While there, you can sign up to be the ultimate Whataburger What a fan and have a chance to win sweet tickets for the Astros game on September 24th and Whataburgers for a year. Plus, be on the field for batting practice and throw out the first pitch. Don't miss this chance to meet Brett Wallace at Whataburger. Brownie?
Thanks, Patty. We have a call to the bullpen, and it's presented by Verizon Wireless, bringing in Fernando Rodriguez with this 4-1 ball game. Atlanta leading, and Atlanta got a 2-run homer in the first from Ugla, 2-run shot from McCann in the 6th inning. Now the first reliever comes into the game. Fernando Rodriguez is 1-0. His ERA 3.12.
He's got to contend with the top of the Braves order here. Schaefer, Ugla, McCann scheduled up in the top half of the 8th. Fernando has shown good lively fastball. Likes to work it up in the zone, a 4-seamer. Good hard curveball. And he'll also feature changeup, especially with a left-handed hitter up there.
Jordan Schaefer leading it off, takes the first pitch.
Fastball will sit right around 92 miles an hour, but you've seen him up around 94. A little deception in his delivery as well as he turns his back to the hitter, hides the ball well.
2 balls, no strikes. That one's in for a strike. Fernando working a scoreless inning last night, gave up 2 hits, struck out a couple.
That's what I'm talking about, the way he turns his back just a little bit. Not quite as exaggerated as Louis Tiant, but you get the idea. Helps hide the ball from the hitter.
Three and two now to Schaefer. Ugla and McCann to follow in the 8th inning. And he struck him out. 7 strikeouts for Astros pitchers today.
Good lively heater up in the zone.
Braves are warming up a lefty, Eric O'Flaherty. Ugla with a 2-run homer in the first, a walk in the third, a single in the sixth inning. That's a perfect day going. That's in the air on the infield. Chris Johnson sprinting in for it and catching. 2 outs.
He did that on a pop-up last night, and there's been some indecision at times from the Astros on infield pop-ups, and I think the message has been delivered. Hey, somebody just come in hard and take charge, and CJ's done that in the last couple of ball games.
Texas Rangers broke up the no-hit bid by Francisco Liriano of Minnesota with an 8th inning hit. Minnesota got 5 in the 7th, and Liriano had to sit for a while that was going on. Brian McCann has 2 hits, one of those a 2-run homer. Infield shifted around, playing him to pull. He looks at ball 1. It's 2-0. So a decision will be made, probably announced sometime tomorrow, on who gets that slot in the Astros starting rotation for the Thursday 105 game with the Pirates against James McDonald. 2 balls, 1 strike. Wandy Rodriguez tomorrow night, then Bud Norris, then Jay Happ. Line shot to right. J. Mike in, diving. He got it. He's had 3 outstanding plays in right field today. Jason Michaels on the hard hit liner robs McCann, and it's 4-1 Braves.
Spectacular night of the summer's biggest event as Fox brings you every thrilling moment of the 2011 MLB All-Star Game. Coverage begins Tuesday, July 12th, live from Phoenix, 7 p.m. Central on the Fox Television Network. And here's how things are stacking up in the voting right now in the National League. Polanco and Tulowitzki, the left side of the infield, with Phillips and Albert Pujols on the right, McCann behind the plate. The outfield has Braun, Matt Holliday, and Berkman. We want a lot of Hunter Pence votes. He's going to make that team, but it'd be nice if he got a high vote total as well.
Thank you, Greg. The lefty Eric O'Flaherty's in the game now after a strong 14 strikeout performance by Tommy Hanson in 7 innings. Michael Bourne bunts. He pops it up. O'Flaherty there to catch it. 1 pitch, 1 out for him in the 8th inning, leading 4-1.
You know, and the way pitchers are handled now, it does deprive us of seeing, hey, wow, what's going on there? He's got the robot working.
Yeah.
Or semi-working anyway.
Okay. Well, Flaherty's 1-2 with a 1.47 ERA. That was fun.
Yeah. He's good.
Strike to Clint Varmus.
Anyway, the Hansen point.
Yeah.
I mean, 14 punch-outs. He had just struck out the side in the 7th, so there are no indications that he was fatiguing. So that's strictly a pitch count. You've done enough for me today. Pitching move. And Astro hitters aren't complaining. But the Braves fans watching at home are probably thinking, wow, I might have struck out 18 guys in that game.
True, he might have. He threw 112 pitches, 78 were strikes.
How many Roger Clemens threw in his 20 strikeout game?
Ooh.
Or Kerry Wood?
Yeah.
Or Nolan in his many high strikeout games?
John Smoltz had a 15 strikeout game in 05 against the Mets. This 14 strikeout performance today, the longest by Braves since then. And there's a single by Barmas. Hit number 4. As the Astros get a look at a different guy. And now it's Downs coming up. The 14 strikeouts by Hansen also ties the Minute Maid Park record for strikeouts in a game set by Bud Norris. That was August 14th of last year against Pittsburgh. Matt Downs is 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. So the Astros have a shot here at doing something, trailing by 3 now that Hansen has left this game, and he struck out the last 3 he faced. Left-hander in the game, and a guy who has pitched 3 times successfully this year against the Astros. 3 scoreless innings for O'Flaherty. Most recent coming last night. He came in the 7th inning after Mike Minor had started. He gave up 2 hits but no runs. That's a strike.
Good sweeping slider there. Fastball at about 92 miles an hour. Slider and a changeup. Part of that very talented bullpen. Kerry Wood in his 20 strikeout game against the Astros threw 122 pitches.
That was in the first half of the season. What, June or May?
May.
Okay. Downs is down on strikes. 15th strikeout for Braves pitchers. And it's Carlos Lee batting.
Not just a big slider, but that's a hard slider too.
This ties the Braves strikeout high in a game this year. Lee fouls it back. There's strike 1 to Carlos. A walk, a single, an RBI double for Lee today. Paid attendance is 23,765 at Minute Maid Park.
Carlos got that batting average up to 275 now.
Yeah, he's been making a move for a while now. That average coming up pretty steadily. Hasn't really gone crazy with the home runs, but he's getting his doubles and singles. Making good contact. That's been a pretty nice strong move in the batting average department for El Caballo. Slugging percentage .412 when this game started. It's not in his usual neighborhood for a full season. That one goes foul.
Hansen had the jump on him last time and left him a 2-strike breaking ball up in the strike zone a little bit. Try to bury a slider on his back foot here.
That's exactly what happened. Carlos is shaking his right hand, walking around the plate.
And he fouled 2 off his foot or leg in this at bat.
Yeah.
And on top of the toe.
Oh, yeah. Derek Jeter got a hit today for the Yankees. He's now 8 hits away from 3,000 for his career. Singled in his 3rd at bat.
When he gets there, he'll be one of just a handful of guys to do it all with one team. Of course, Craig Biggio the last to do it.
Yankees are leading 9-1 over the Indians in the 8th. Fouled away.
Carlos having a good tough at bat here, spoiling some good pitches. Flaherty has that put away slider down and in. He fought that off and then came back with a changeup away in a real good spot, and Carlos able to foul that one away as well. Now he tries the high heater. He's breaking out everything to try to put him away here.
He'll be making the 8th pitch to Carlos coming up next. That's hit to left center field. Hinske back on the track. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. We move to the 9th, 4-1 Braves.
Spotlight series as we focus on Michael Bourne. The Astros center fielder is a career Houstonian, having played high school baseball for Aldi Nimitz and college ball at the University of Houston before landing with the Astros in 2008. We'll tell you all about his relationship with Carl Crawford. We'll hang out with Michael and his son and Michael's father at his house. It's an awesome story. You don't want to miss it. Spotlight Michael Bourne tomorrow at 6 only on Fox Sports Houston. Bill?
Thanks, Patty. Michael needs 1 more steal to get to 200 for his career. He'll be the 22nd active player to reach that figure. 4-1 Atlanta, and there is ball 1 to Freddie Freeman leading off the 9th inning. Freeman has 3 strikeouts today.
Yeah, 1 more, and he's got the golden sombrero.
And he will get that gift certificate to go to any country store in Houston and pick up his golden sombrero tomorrow should he strike out here. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Okay, so now we got the dueling fan bases again.
Yeah, the choppers.
With the choppers, and then the Astro fans trying to shout him down.
It's been kind of interesting phenomenon we had not witnessed around Houston. There are the choppers and the anti-choppers.
Freeman, to this point, not cutting down on his swing at all to prevent another strikeout. He's staying true to his game. He's letting that bat head fly.
Yes, he is. If it's 4, so be it. It's 2-2 for Fernando Rodriguez, who had a 1-2-3 8th inning. The Mets shut out Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh 7-0 with a lot of late runs. It was 0-0 going to the 7th. They got 1 in the 7th, 4 in the 8th, 2 in the 9th. Chris Capuano, the winner, goes to 5-6. There's the lunging foul ball.
We've seen him lunge a lot in his last 2 games.
Kevin Correa lost it to the Pirates.
The Astros doing a pretty good job on Freeman, going hard in, then soft away, and that's what's creating those weak swings at the soft stuff away. The fact that they've been able to get in on him from time to time. Makes him inside conscious.
3-2 now. Jose Reyes hit his third homer today for the Mets, and Scott Hairston number 2.
In, out, up, down. Guys up there swinging. You don't have to throw many strikes. Well, look where that is. If I'm going to go down 4 times, I'm going down swinging.
It really is. Look at that pattern. What's next? That's the real guessing game.
Curveball in the zone. A little bit on the front foot. Hey, we should play connect the dots and see what we get.
We really should.
We could draw it, and it would be amazing if we connected the dots and it made a golden sombrero.
I think in would be good here, JD.
You know, he's good in, but Myers beat him in earlier.
Oh! Golden sombrero time for Freddie Freeman.
He started the year slowly and then had really picked things up lately, but today just not his day. He went down swinging all 4 times. For a young hitter, if you do not prove to major league pitchers that you'll take pitches out of the strike zone, they're going to keep throwing them out of the strike zone.
So all you Western store owners in Houston recognize that man when he comes in tomorrow to claim his free golden sombrero. There's ball 1 to Gonzalez. Gonzalez 0 for 3. Boston plastered Toronto 14-1. John Lester goes to 9-2. Kyle Drabek took a drubbing today. The loser, he's 4-5 with a 5.70 ERA. He got torched. Now 3 balls, no strikes. Alex Gonzalez. Felix Hernandez, King Felix of Seattle, down Detroit 7-3 in Detroit. He's 7-5. 3 balls and a strike. Rick Porcello took the loss. Miguel Olivo hit a second home run in that game to give him 10 for the year. Justin Smoke hit number 12.
I've been saying that a lot lately.
Yeah. That's a walk. Alex Gonzalez. We go to Patty Smith.
Well, be sure to follow the Astros with the MLB.com @BAT11 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text @BAT to 31826 or visit Astros.com for details. Bill?
Thank you, Patty. Now it's Hinske, but first of all, Corcoran goes out to talk with Rodriguez. In this 4-1 game, the Astros will have Wallace, Michaels, and Johnson due up in the bottom of the 9th. Arizona down Florida 5-1 today. Daniel Hudson going to 7-5 with that win, and Ryan Roberts hit his 10th homer. Astros Live will be coming up after the game. Art Ennis and Steve Sparks with the show today. Hinske has struck out twice and bounced out. Strike 1. Steve Sparks was talking about the possible move of a National League team to the American League team to go with those rumors that we've been reading lately, and he said, well, why not Arizona moving to the American League?
Well, I think it's still fairly highly unlikely that anybody will be moving. But, yeah, especially if it was going to maintain, if you're going to keep the divisions. You know, there's some talk about going to an alignment where there are no divisions, just 2 15-team leagues. So if you did that, it wouldn't matter much geographically who went where. But if you were to keep the American League West, Arizona would be would make sense to go there. But you still have the issue of the National League Central having 6 teams, and then the National League West would only have 4. And that's one of the things you're trying to get around.
So then you might have a team from the NL Central move to the NL West. Some group moved Arizona
Right.
into the American League.
Right, and then you'd have those same television problems. Playing a lot of games on the West Coast, and your night games, if you're a Central Time Zone team, your night games, come on at 9 o'clock in your own market. Kind of what the Rangers deal with.
True. And from what we've seen on ratings in the past, obviously people have to get to work in the morning. Many people have to get up early. They're not going to stay up until midnight on a weeknight watching a sporting event in most cases, or 1 in the morning or whatever it might be.
Well, and I had the TV on earlier before the game, and Timmy Kirkchin or somebody was on there saying that they were talking about the possibility that the approval of the sale of the Astros to Jim Crane could be made contingent on him accepting a move to the American League. And I don't know if they would. That doesn't seem right to me.
No.
Yeah, we'll let you into the club, but.
Right. Well, we were discussing this, and you were saying, I was a little hazy on this, but when Arizona became an expansion team, they had a promise for a certain number of years they'd stay as a National League club. But that's now expired.
That
right?
was my understanding, yeah.
I think you're right.
So, I guess theoretically they could do it. They make up the rules.
True. One and two here to Hinske with Hicks on deck. And foul tip strikeout. It's number 3 for Rodriguez.
A lot of red Ks on your scorecard today.
Boy. That's 9 strikeouts for Astros pitchers. 15 for Braves pitchers. So the hitters from both teams helping to fan the air conditioning here at Minute Maid Park. Hicks is 0 for 3. Michael Bourne made an excellent catch on him in the 4th. That's strike 1. Freddie Garcia and the Yankees knocked off Cleveland 9-1, beating Josh Tomlin. Washington and San Diego scoreless after 1. Kansas City 1-0 over the Angels after 3. It's a ball and a strike. Adam Dunn hit his 7th for the White Sox. He's been pretty quiet this year. They lead at home over Oakland 5-3 after 7.
He got hit by a pitch, and the home fans booed, or they cheered it.
Oh,
the White Sox. How disgruntled they are with Big Adam.
Boy. 2 balls, 1 strike.
That's cold.
That is very cold. In that Milwaukee St. Louis game, it's still Milwaukee up 4-3, bottom of the 8th inning. Jake Westbrook had a 3-0 lead, and that got away with the 4-run 6th by the Brewers. Westbrook threw a lot of pitches in his start here. Westbrook today gave up 8 hits, 4 runs in 5 innings. Three balls and a strike. Foul ball. Full count to Hicks.
All the family still in, Brownie?
Yeah, I'm still enjoying it. Had a great time at the ballpark last night. I know your family's scattered all over. We'll be meeting up with them when? No time soon?
Probably All-Star break.
Okay. Runner going on 3-2. Struck him out looking. Another strikeout. That's the theme of the day. Well, that's 4 for Rodriguez, 10 for the Astros, 15 for the Braves, 4-1 Atlanta.
Saving car insurance quote. Call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. Donnie Venters has come on to at least start the ninth, facing the left-hander Brett Wallace. The Astros down by 3. Let's go back up to the booth. Bill Brown and Jim DeShays.
And he may be the closer today. Joe Mather has come in right field. And that has created the move of Mad Young from right field to left field. Derek Hinsky coming out of the game after going 0 for 4 with 3 punch-outs. The new pitcher is the hard-throwing lefty Venters. That wicked breaking ball. He's 4-0 with a 0.45 ERA, JD.
Yeah, he's got just silly numbers. 21 consecutive scoreless innings for the young left-hander. Just unbelievable stuff. Throws hard, great movement.
Red Wallace is 0 for 3. Whoa, showing bunt.
He throws that hard sinker. He gets movement that you would get on an off-speed pitch. It really darts all over the place. Recent game against the Reds, Joey Votto grounded out, and as he's running back across the field, he ran by the mound, and he just looked at Venters and goes, "You are no fun, pal."
You can see why Wallace would think about bunting. Strike one with Michaels on deck. Johnson due up third in the inning. It's 0-2. Craig Kimbrell has been the closer, but Venters has 2 saves. Recently he's been used a couple times in that situation to give Kimbrell a rest. Venters, though, leads the majors in appearances. This is his 37th, so he might need a bit of a blow himself. Wallace down on strikes. 16 strikeouts for a new Braves pitching high this season.
It's like one of those women's college softball games with all the punch-outs. Just really dominating. In the Kerry Wood game we alluded to earlier, Shane Reynolds had, I think, had 10 that day, so there's at least 30 strikeouts in that game.
Ooh. Jason Michaels is 0 for 3. Venters throws strike one. Venters a 30th round draft choice in 03 from Pikeville, Kentucky. Into Indian River Community College in Florida. Pitched 79 times last year. 0-2 to J. Mike. Venters had Tommy John surgery, missed the 06 season. And last year he struck out 93 in 83 innings for Atlanta at a 1.95 ERA. One ball, 2 strikes for Venters. 18 straight scoreless innings. Well, the innings is 21, but the outings 18 straight. Little dribbler goes foul third base side. The record here for both teams, strikeouts in a game, the Astros and the Cubs. Well, not here. That was at Chicago. It's in May of 03, a 16-inning game, 37 strikeouts by both teams combined. Venters' ERA is the best among all relievers in the big league, 0.45. Batting average against him, 142. Two balls, 2 strikes. Now 3-2. Venters got a save at Florida 3 days ago. Dodgers got 5 in the third. They lead at Colorado now 5-3 in the fourth. James Loney hit his 4th home run. Little roller up the line. And the throw safe at first. McCann thought he had him. He went down into a squat after the safe call by Dreckman.
Astros still have life. Nice play by McCann. Naked eye, I thought they had him. See the slow motion replay. They did have him. Astros caught a break. Good replay. See that catcher? He goes right into a squat. That's kind of like the fetal position for a catcher. That's where they're most comfortable. They just drop right into that squat.
Foul by Chris Johnson.
Nobody else would react like that but a catcher. I mean, you might bend over at the waist and put your hands on your knees. Just goes right into catcher squat mode.
CJ single to right in the fifth. He struck out twice. Each club now with 5 hits and 1 error. No balls, 2 strikes. Tampa Bay 9, Baltimore 5, top of the 8th inning. Longoria added his 5th home run to the Tampa Bay scoring. Cardinals are batting in the top of the 9th at Milwaukee, trailing 4-3. John Axford in the game. That's another strikeout. Number 2 for Venters. Number 17 for Atlanta.
Yeah, well, it's fitting that the Stanley Cup playoffs are going on because there's been a lot of hat tricks in this game. July 9th, 1971, game between the Angels and the A's. There were 43 strikeouts. It was a 20-inning game. Angels struck out 26 times in the A's 17.
Wow.
Vida Blue had 17 strikeouts in 11 innings.
Carlos Corporan has struck out all 3 times. Angel Sanchez on deck with a pitcher spot due up next. Another little dribbler goes foul. Tommy Hanson gave up just 3 hits and 1 run in his 7 innings, walking 2, fanning 14. Eric O'Flaherty in 1 inning allowed 1 hit, no runs with a strikeout. Now Johnny Venters has struck out 2. No balls, 2 strikes. If he finishes with a strikeout, that's 18 Ks for Braves pitchers today.
I wouldn't bet against him.
Especially not now.
Hey,
there's some contact.
Moral victory.
Yep. Still the final out. Still a Braves win. And the Astros lost 4 in a row now. The Braves winning 6 straight. They go to 10 games over 500 at 38-28. Final score: Atlanta 4 and Houston 1.